guys, you're back with Juzzy Evo X, and it's now the end of August in 2021. About 3 weeks have passed since I've uploaded a video, and I've ran into a little bit of a difficulty a couple of weeks ago. So I was here in my garage, and I went to go and start my car to go out, and the car died after about 30 seconds. I spoke to Alan at AK, and he said to me, check that the fuse isn't blowing, and sure enough, checked fuse number 23 in the engine bay, and a 20 amp fuse that was in there had blown. So I changed the fuse out, went to go and start it again, and the fuse blew again. So here I am in my fairly steep driveway that I have to take an angle to get out, thinking, how am I going to get this car towed out of here, because it looks like the fuel pump has gone bad. So sure enough, I put another fuse in, called a tow truck guy, and was able to get the car driven up to the top of my driveway and out on the road so that I could get it towed. Here's some photos of that. All right, so I got the car towed into AK Racing. Alan, Keith and the boys at AK took care of the issue, and of course it turned out being that the DW300C pump that was in my car, which, as you know, I was just about to replace, ended up dying. So how about that? So spoke to Alan, and we had already talked about upgrading the fuel pump to the Walbro 460 LPH Plus, and also if you remember from my last video, I was talking about upgrading injectors. So I was therefore looking at either FIC 1200s, or in the video I actually said I'd be looking at 1300s. So I'm not looking to increase the power of my car drastically much than what it is now, because it is a stock engine. It's not built in any way. I've got a template clutch setup in there from AK that's designed to handle about 320 kilowatts max, and being at the 300 kilowatt mark, really for an engine is really getting to the limits and starting to stress it. So using the Bosch KPM 1000cc injectors I had in the car, the injectors were right at the limit. So they were designed to produce about 300 kilowatts, and they did work as advertised. The DW300C pump did work as advertised. It could handle 300 kilowatts at the wheels. But I just want to go a little bit over that so I can reach my target. And sure enough, the pump died. So, you know, for the sake of, I don't know, $50 to $100, why not upgrade to a much larger flowing pump, which is what I've done. So here is the parts that I actually got swapped out. So Walbro, the company's actually been renamed to TI Automotive. So this fuel pump, the 460 LPH, got installed. Of course, it's not the one that's in here, but this is the old DW 300C that I had in there. Yeah, so in case you're wondering, you know, I want to have 300 kilowatts in my Ralliart or Evo. That pump will get you there. So that pump was able to support my Evo at about, or somewhere around, I don't know, 1470 to 1500 kilos to do 11.6 on the quarter mile. So yes, if you're wanting to know if I think that's a pretty reasonable pump and setup to use if you're just wanting the bare basics. It worked fine. Had that pump in my car, I don't know, I think for about maybe 2 years or so, and never had any issues with it. But yeah, put the new fuel hanger in, and obviously when I went out for my last test and tune, I wasn't able to quite run the way I wanted the car to run. Acknowledging, of course, that we had to do some fine tuning to get it right, but about a couple of weeks after going for the run, and obviously the pump was at full pretty much full send, it ended up giving up. So it is if you're using the stock fuel filter, so that basically means your pump is in the stock location, in the stock housing underneath the rear seat of your Lancer CJ, that's Ralliart or Evo, then that pump is going to get you to 11.6 without a problem. You should be able to get that on a Ralliart, no problem. So then the other thing we changed was the FIC 1200cc injectors, and when you do that, you buy the injectors. They come in a box like this. Obviously these aren't the injectors because these are the Bosch KPM 1000cc injectors I had in there. So again, 1000cc, that will get you the 300 kilowatts at the wheels using the DW 300cc pump. You do not need a fuel pressure regulator, and that is a very basic setup to get you in the mid-11s. For those that don't know, I'm using a GT Pumps 712, which is like an MHI 18K. It uses a customized compressor wheel in a turbo which has a 2-inch inlet, much the same as an MHI, but that compressor wheel is slightly larger than the 20G. So it is not something that you'll be able to find a map for. It is a custom wheel that's made and installed through Mark at GT Pumps. If you're interested in that turbo and you're wanting to look at what I've done, how I've run, and you're wanting that setup for your car, I would recommend getting that turbo. It's not expensive. It's probably about $1,000 cheaper than an Intense turbo, which is all the rage these days in Australia because of the sound and the increased spool. So there's no denying that. You pay $1,000, you'll get a more premium product. But the GT Pump 712 has served me very well, and I would recommend it to anyone that asks me, what do you need to run mid-11s and have 300 kilowatts in your CJ? So whilst my car was in the shop at AK getting worked on for a couple of weeks, I, of course, got bored and started going online and tried to find some more parts that I could get for my interior. And so in this video today, after I give the car a wash now, I'm going to actually look at the installation of these parts. So when you buy a Evo 10, you don't from as a factory, I don't know, release, get a footrest pedal for the manual or the auto. So this is the OEM part. That is the footrest for the SST. And as you can see, it has the same rubber and metal and the design as the original. It's got a rubber backing here. And as you can see, it's got these tiny holes all the way around the outside. You get some screws so that you can screw it in. There's the bag. I'll put up the part numbers in the description. And if I forget, someone post and let me know to remind me. The other thing I really wanted to get was the Lancer Evolution scuff plate. So there is the part number there. Mitsubishi Australia did not have these in stock, but they could get it from Japan. But I decided to hit up the guys at Sigma Speed in Osaka, Japan. I had not ordered from them before, but had heard good things about them. Had a look through their website and saw a number of things which I thought, oh, that'd be cool to have in my car because I'm looking to upgrade the interior. So yeah, so this is the genuine scuff plate. A little bit hard to see with the blue protective strip, which is kind of similar to what you get when you buy a new set of Jap wheels. They put this around the lip so that it doesn't get damaged in transit or whatnot. So yeah, so they are just a pull-off sticker on the back so that you can put it on your door sills. So they are only sold singly. So if you do go to order this, you have to order 2 of them. They are not sold as a pair. When you install these, they are for the front of the car, but we'll go and have a look and just see if there's enough space for the rear. There actually might not be. No, so there's definitely not enough space for the rear. So essentially, these will get installed just like that, and that's going to look plenty sweet. I've also put an order through for some genuine Alcantara parts, so I'm going to be replacing the suede wrap that I bought from just a non-branded seller on eBay. So I'll be taking the steering wheel off to do that, and I've got the SST shifter coming, as well as the base part of the handbrake. I've also looking to get the a black version of the optional handbrake that you can buy for the Evo 10. It's not here yet, and it'll be here in probably 2 weeks, and I'll further put a video online when that is arrived and I go to install it. All right, just turn my light on. So here we are looking at the boot of my Evo 10, and to try and make sure that the car has enough power, what I've got the guys in AK Racing to do is to install one of their customized hardwire kits. So as you can see, where's my finger? All of this part is new with the relays, and then that travels back behind and underneath the seats to where the fuel pump is. So that now means that it's working at 100% power, no issues there with supplying power to the fuel pump. That gives me a little bit of extra safety. You can buy aftermarket kits for that, but as you can see, pretty good quality. It's all sleeved, runs a relay. They've just put a tag there, and if you have the interior, I don't know, this carpet that's on the boot, yeah, if you've got that, you won't even see it. So yeah, it's really neat. It doesn't rattle in any way, it doesn't make any noises. Of course, when you run the pump as a hardwire setup, it does make a tiny sort of whine sound, but yeah, once you put the seat over the pump area, then it's super, super low in noise. You wouldn't even notice it. So yeah, so now we'll talk to the next thing. So the next thing I've done is I wanted to get the optional OEM Ralliart decal that is installed. It's a carbon fiber decal which has a Ralliart logo there. It's meant for the Evo 10, and I don't believe it fits any of the other CJs, or at least not without customization. I think the only other CJ that has a flat back is the Ralliart Sportback, so that's the hatchback, but unfortunately it has a cutout here, and depending on what market you are in or what country you're in the world, you might have a cover over that. If you don't have a cover, you actually have like a fog light. So what I tried to do was see if you could actually get that from Mitsubishi or Mitsubishi in Japan, and unfortunately it's discontinued. So you might find that in your country, but I'm told that it's long gone, and sure enough, if they'd had it, they'd want to sell it to me. So I ended up reaching out to a contact in Japan who has this on his car. I got the exact measurements, and of course I measured it on my own car to see if that would seem legitimate and correct, and it was. So what I've done is I've reached out to my friend who has been able to cut these up at the sign shop. I've had a look at the OEM picture that comes in the catalogue, and the weave looks just like this. It goes from bottom left to top right, so basically the weave goes in that direction. So we got that right, got the height and the width exactly right, and then the last part was the white Ralliart decal that goes over this strip. We got that in the right length and height, and that fits on there nicely as well. So I'm actually going to be selling these. As you can see, it's not really matte, and it's not really gloss. if I was to say, it's more like a satin, which is good because then I guess you can please everyone. It doesn't, what's the right word? It doesn't detract from, say, the gloss look of your body panels. Don't mind the car. As I said, I've got to wash it now, but I really like the look of this. So I'm selling these. By the time you see this video, I'll be starting the first creation of the batch of these to sell, and I will put up a post on my Instagram. So if you go to Juzzy Evo X on Instagram, you'll see a post there with the price, and then it'll be postage for whatever I think that costs when I quickly pop that into my Australia Post calculator website and see how much it costs to get it to you. Because it's a long decal, it'll have to go into a tiny box, so I can't just post it by envelope, but certainly I've taken all the guesswork out of it and the quality is great. I'm not in the sun at the moment, so I don't know if my phone can zoom in on that properly, but yeah, after I have washed it and I put the car out in the sun, you'll be able to see that a lot better. So yeah, I really like the look of that. I'll pop up some posts, some pictures at the end of this video, I guess, or right now, just so you can see what that looks like. All right, so let's get to the wash and then let's get to the install. Okay, so I've just finished the wash of the car. Probably took a little bit longer than I thought it would because it's been in the shop, so I just like to take a little bit extra care, but looking great. So now I'm going to have a look at the installation of the first optional genuine part here, the footrest. Open it from the package, brand new. As you can see, really nice finish. And then on the back, it's got this rubber backing, which is glued and pressed in through this metal. As you can see, it's got those rubbers that come through for the grip. Now it's got these screws. So there's 5 screws there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in the pedal. Here's the instructions. They're all in Japanese because I bought it from a Japanese vendor. But as you can see, this is for the SST. It's a different shape, narrower, smaller, I believe, for the 5-speed manual. So they're saying here, main part, 5 screws. Yeah, and I guess if you're wanting to actually go to the level of detail of changing these screws out to some sort of titanium look, which is only something stupid like I do, you probably wouldn't, then 3mm thick by 12 millimeters, so 1.2 centimeters in length. This is what they look like. If you're wanting to jump ahead and order this at the same time, I don't think most people would want to do that. All right. So it's saying here, looks like it's saying something to the effect of drill a 2.5mm pilot hole once you've got the footrest cover in place, and then simply screw the 5 screws through and into the OEM plastic piece. So now, won't have enough light in here, so let's turn the light on. All right. Go Samsung S10, let's see. All right, so that's what the accelerator and a brake pedal looks like. And just by the way, in case you're wondering, I don't have any floor mats in the car. So as you know, I've been weight saving like crazy. I've got mats which are old and I assume original mats that came with the car from the original purchase from factory. But I'm actually trying to locate a good price on the JDM domestic market floor mats only. So they are appear to be a slight greyish in colour. predominantly black, but they have a little badge that says Lancer Evolution. The thing is though, is that in my car, I run the fire extinguisher here, and I don't think that you would even see the badge. So in effect, you would really have a matte, which is just discolored from the rest of the interior. I could move this one to the passenger side, but I do like the idea of having this underneath my feet. I do actually have a second fire extinguisher and Evolution X Designs bracket, but I'd taken it off for weight saving. Now, when we have a look at this footrest, as you can see, the top left hole here is hidden by the plastic interior here. So the best thing to do is to actually remove this plastic piece out of the car and then quite easily drill the pilot holes through here into the plastic whilst it's out. Then you can screw it in and then rely on the bolt that's under here to remove. So what you need to do is get a flathead and just pop that off. And then inside here, there's a socket, which I think is about a 12 to take that nut off. And I'll just get that out now. Okay, so I've just used a normal 12 socket with a ratchet to undo that there. Then I believe there is also a flathead or Phillips head in that hole there. So okay, so scratch that. So there is no actual screw or nut in there at all. If you have a look here, you'll see that that's actually blocked off. So really all that part is there is just a stem that simply holds this in position. So all you have to do once you remove this 12 nut here is simply just pull up. Once you pull this up, this whole part can come out. So that's what it looks like. The SST footrest. Yeah, just use, I think I've removed this previously before, but it just uses a 12 socket nut and then a washer to keep that flat in place. Okay guys, so now that I've removed that footrest from the car, you can see here that I've just drilled some 2.5mm pilot holes, just simply by placing the footrest cover on there and then drilling through. Now, the reason why you want to remove this footrest is because this hole here in particular, you want to make sure is straight so that you're getting full grip of every screw to hold down this cover. And you won't be able to do that if you've got the footrest in its proper location, because that is going to be in the way. And even if you remove that screw to take that cover out, you still aren't going to be able to make the pilot hole correct, and then you're going to have issues with your screw potentially going in on an angle and not sitting flush. All right, so as you can see, I've just installed that screw only, just left enough space so that I can use the socket to get that in. Let's try that again. It's easiest to reach underneath and to get that pole, for better lack of a word, that locator in there first. Found it at the back of the garage where I was filming before, so I like to put that in there and then put the nut down. I can't wait to get this in. It's going to look super. Cool, that's tight. Take the socket out. Put this cover back on like that. Then as you can see, I can swivel that in, As you can see, you can't get access to that top left screw unless you take this out, so this way you don't have to. I'm going to use 2 hands now, but I'm basically just going to Phillips head these remaining 4 screws in. Alright, so as you can see, I've just put the remaining 4 Phillips head screws there, and check it out. I reckon that's a pretty neat look. Certainly, I think, better than just having the black footrest there. Nice touch. I like it. Alright, so I've just cut open the end of the genuine scuff plate. Again, that's the part number 7656A104. Quantity of 1, so if you do order it, you do actually have to order 2, 1 for each side, as they are not sold as a pair. Nice. So as you expect, OEM, excellent condition with the protective wrap. On the back you can see it's got this brown removable peel, so that then you've got the sticky tape underneath. I've got both of them here. And so I had a look at the photo that Mitsubishi uses for the factory mounting location, if you like, for these scuff plates, and it appears to be roughly in this location. So the things to take into consideration here is that the door sill has a fold in it from factory right there, and then of course the curve where it leads up to the A pillar starts at around about here. So once you start going past this location, then the whole thing's not going to be flat, or at least not going to be flat down that end. So in the factory brochure location, it has it here, so that it is within this fold, and then it has it a little bit past the seatbelt bolt, the seat bolt anchorage, and just slightly past the end of this black part here for the side sill. Yep, so that's plenty hot enough. Right, so now just a Alright, so I'll stop recording and place that now and resume. Alright, so I've placed it down, so I'm just gonna put some more heat into it. Right, and that is super hot. Alright, so there we go. So I've put some pressure on that for about a minute, and it no longer feels hot. It's cooled down. Just in case you're wondering, in terms of is there any risk of it fouling when the door closes? So as you can see, that shiny part there, and it's well and truly up. It's above the rubber, so it's got no chance of fouling and scratching. Really nice, as you can see. Check that out, that's super nice. Excellent, so I'll just do the other side now and we're done. Okay, so we're here on the Australian driver's side again. So again, just gonna heat her up. All right, place it down now. Here we are, car's looking really nice, polished, clean. Again, I'll just show you what I've installed. So that is the genuine Lancer Evolution scuff plates, the genuine footrest. Pretty nice feeling when you walk in. Black interior from the black edition. Just in case you're wondering, it's just a carbon fiber handbrake, red aircon dial covers that I bought from, I think it was AliExpress, either there or eBay, one of the two. They're non-branded, you can get them everywhere, you've probably seen them. Red stripe interior, gear knob, black edition interior. Really happy with it. There's the DK or HC Motion tail lights, and here's my latest addition to the exterior, which is the custom remake that I've made and that I'm now selling for the Evo 10, Evo X. So as you can see here, it is a carbon fiber strip. Don't worry about this bit of water here, but that's not gone away from washing. But as you can see, carbon fiber strip. It's fairly metallic-y because it is a carbon strip. It's not gloss, it's not matte. I would best describe it as more of a in-between. And so as you can see, we've got the Ralliart logo here in white as per the genuine item. I guess that could be customized if you want that to be the color of your car, but if you're wanting that OEM look, then white is the only color that it came in. This is the UK edition SST badge, which wasn't available in Australia, so that's super rare to get. You will not find that anywhere outside of the United Kingdom, and it's super hard to get now. I don't know what the part number is, don't ask me, but good luck to you in finding it if that's what you're after. That is the rarest part on my car. Tomei badge from the Tomei TI titanium full 3-inch exhaust system, and then the genuine Lance Evolution badges, but I've put on an aftermarket black badge there because I like that blacked out look on the car. Really nice. This completes the full exterior of my car. A few touch-up items to go on the interior, so I'm looking to get some sort of mats. I don't think I'll be getting the genuine JDM mats. They are about 600 or so Australian dollars, brand new. They are super rare and hard to get, but they're not black. And I'd hate to put something that's not black in my car, but I do like the idea of having an OEM item. So what I think I'll do then, if you don't go OEM, then to do something that's a little bit special, I'll probably get some custom mats trimmed in black with a red outline. You can actually get some from Monster Sport, which is a sort of Mitsubishi aftermarket specialist from Japan. You can get them in, I think, a summer or winter edition. They are red striped, but if you don't like their logo though, then yeah, probably the way to go is to get some black ones with a red trim. One of the things I was thinking of changing back is this Evolution X Designs license plate holder. Every time it goes into the shop for work to be done, someone trips over it, or I go to a car show, someone trips it and bends this plate forward. So I am thinking of plugging up that bar and moving the license plate back to the front, so then I have zero issues whatsoever with police. Not that I have, but the chance is there, and I'm just tired of people walking past and bumping that plate. As you can see, it sort of stands out a bit. I don't make videos too often, so I do feel if I've got good content, but I'd really like it if you can like, comment and subscribe. Every single person that messages me or asks me a question does get a response, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram. I am on Facebook as well, but I don't really reply to that because I can't be bothered switching over from my personal account to my Evo account. So just message me on Instagram or YouTube. Just trying to think. I don't think there's really very much else I'm going to do with a car. I really just want to put the interior back in after I do the runs that I want to on the quarter mile, and then yeah, basically get these interior parts to finish it, and I'm really satisfied with the car. If I can have this car run 11.5 and have it as neat on the interior and exterior as I do, then I'm fully satisfied. And that means that, yeah, within about 3 years of owning the car, unfortunately with about, I don't know, 3/4 of a year where the car hardly moved at all because of COVID. But yeah, in about 3 years of modifying the car, I've brought it to what I would consider to be an international standard. It's run the times, it's got the looks, it's got the parts, plenty of JDM parts, plenty of customized parts, and yeah, hopefully you agree with me. I had this feeling twice in my life. The first time I did it was 20 years ago when I had a 180SX that was on the cover of our national magazine in Australia. And whilst magazines have died, the recognition is different nowadays. Everything's online. There was no Instagram back then. Facebook was around, but so was YouTube. But yeah, I get a kick out of helping people who sort of, I consider myself to have been, you know, 2 to 3 years ago with this car. And yeah, I'm one of those guys that likes to give back to the community. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video, which probably will be when I hopefully take that crown on a quarter mile.
I see your monsters, I see your pain.